Hello, let's do business brought to you by MTN with me, Esther Edu Ohumeu. The Minister for Finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, has met with the new International Monetary Fund Mission Chief for Ghana, Stefan Rede, in Accra. He was joined by the Deputy Ministers of Finance, Mr. Charles Edu Boahene and Abner Osei-Asare, as well as the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afare. The closed-door meeting centered on the $3 billion financial support Ghana is seeking from the Bretton Woods institution. The meeting comes on the heels of one between President Akufo-Addo and the Managing Director of the IMF in Holland. The IMF boss indicated that negotiations about Ghana's $3 billion request will be concluded by the end of the year. A Ghanaian born in the UK, Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng has been named as Chancellor in UK's new Prime Minister Liz Truss's cabinet, having defended her tax-cutting proposals during her successful Conservative leadership campaign. Ms. Truss was on Tuesday sworn in as Prime Minister of Britain when she met with Queen Elizabeth in Scotland.
Kwarteng was born in East London to parents, a barrister, mother, and economist, father who immigrated from Ghana. He attended the famed Eton College in Berkshire, the elite school known for churning out Conservative MPs and Prime Ministers such as Boris Johnson and David Cameron. Went on to read classics and history at the University of Cambridge, graduating with first in both before heading across the Atlantic to study at Harvard. Upon his return to the UK, he earned a PhD in economic history from Cambridge. Mr. Kwarteng worked as a financial analyst at investment banks, including JP Morgan Chase, and wrote a book titled Ghost of Empire, about the legacy of the British Empire before venturing into politics. In 2010, Mr. Kwarteng was elected MP for Spelthorne in Surrey, and in 2021 was promoted to Business Secretary, making him the first Black Secretary of State. His ascension to the Chancellor position would also make him the first to hold the second most powerful position in British politics. Edward Nyakun, reporting for GBC News.
African countries trade 21% amongst themselves and 79% with other continents, and to promote revenue mobilization among African countries with the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, policymakers and tax experts from 43 countries on the continent have met in Accra.
The 79% of the trade is done with Europe, America, and the others. So that's why we're saying that the revenue loss will be marginal, but that's in the short term. But in the medium term, we believe that as we expand, we are able to produce, we are able to export, we get more foreign currency, we increase our employment numbers, and we also increase our taxes in the form of corporate taxes and other taxes.
The initial losses are not expected to be very significant, but we cannot say that because of that we will not plan and strategize. So that as we also integrate, sometimes people can take advantage. In the case of the European Union, where people took advantage and with the VAT, there were some losses that some countries incurred. We can ensure that we are putting strategies, and the strategy includes making sure that we have the correct technology, the correct procedures, and the correct processes, and then the correct policies that will be implemented to make sure that we have an efficient system that will ensure maximization of revenue and maximization of trade among ourselves.
Domestic resource mobilization and domestic revenue is going to be the key driver for Agenda 2063 to rebuild the African continent. This conference will receive 44 academic papers written by African scholars, both tax officials, students, and doctorate and postdoctoral students, where they have analyzed various angles from VAT to trade taxes to the impact of the tax base and tax registration of the Continental Free Trade Agreement.
Fitch Solutions has predicted that Ghana's central bank will continue to hike its monetary policy rate to about 24% by the end of 2022. In August 2022, the BOG, in an emergency meeting, hiked the monetary policy rate by 300 basis points to 22%. This was in a move to stem inflation risk and the persistent depreciation of the cedi. According to Fitch Solutions, the projection is based on elevated inflation, largely driven by the rapid depreciation of the cedi against major trading currencies, which will peak in the final quarter of 2022. It explained that this will force the Bank of Ghana to take the path of policy rate hikes to stem inflation. This, it said, will also increase the impact on the cost of borrowing. The business news was brought to you by MTN. Thanks for watching.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
Good evening and welcome to the Energy segment. My name is Dominic Onoji. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, has launched a utility tariff reckoner to help consumers calculate and track the exact amount of utility units bought and expended. Head of Corporate Affairs at PURC, Dr. Kofi Obute, tells GBC News the tariff reckoner will help promote trust and confidence between the utility service providers and consumers.
Our website. You can either use the consumption or you can use the amount. If you know your level of consumption, there's a tab in there. You just type your level of consumption in there, say 300. If you just type 300 and you do enter or you press the calculate, there's a button there called calculate. If you press the calculate button, it will give you exactly how much you're supposed to pay at the end of the day. Now, the reverse also works. If you know how much you want to buy, let's say you want to buy 200 cedis, all you need to do is just a button at the tail end of it, or you key in 200 cedis. You see total amount written there, 200 cedis you key in. If you key in and you hit the calculate button, it will tell you exactly how much or how much you consume in terms of units or kilowatt hours. And it will tell you the levies or the charges that you have to pay as well. So everything is in there. It's as simple as we can make it. We want to make it as transparent as possible for everybody to know how much he or she has to pay at the end of the day and how much he's consuming. This will help to conserve energy. You have total control over your energy that you consume. So if you do this, you will be able to control amount that you pay or the power that you consume from the utility service providers.
Government will soon embark on a roadshow in some major oil and gas countries to market Ghana's potential and real petroleum reserves to investors. The move is to attract more investors to venture into the country's upstream oil and gas industry. Petroleum Director at the Ministry of Energy, Dr. Kwame Nto Amoah, says there are many geological reports showing potential oil fields along many of the coastlines that are yet to be explored.
It's noteworthy that only one out of Ghana's 4 sedimentary basins is being actively explored. The emphasis is on actively. Consequently, there are several unallocated acreages in the remaining 3 prospective basins which require investments. So in the next few months, we're going to be conducting roadshows in major oil capitals to ensure that we can bring, the benefits, or if you like, the geological promise to the attention of potential investors.
With the aim of helping the public and institutions to conserve energy, the Energy Commission is promoting the use of fluorescent bulbs at homes and offices. Director in charge of renewable energy and energy efficiency at the Energy Commission, Mr. Kofi Ejaku, spoke with GBC News.
I think we all know the fluorescent tubes, the long, slender tubes. Some people do not know how to manage it. So, although they are not getting any usefulness for it because it is gone bad, in the night he will just switch on the light, thinking that he has 5 of those lights as security lights. 2 are not working, only 3 are working. So when he puts it on, it is the 3 that are working that he's going to pay the bills for. But that is not the case. The fluorescent tubes are powered by what we call ballast. The ballast consumes roughly 11 watts, in addition to what the tube consumes. So, if the tube goes bad and you are not prepared to replace it, then you better remove the ballast. Because any time you put it on, the ballast will consume is 11 watts.
And that's it for the energy segment. My name is Dominic Onoji.
Time now for Health, brought to you by Lufat Tobinco's premium gift to Africa. The health service is soon to establish staff clinics to solely cater for the financial and health care needs of health workers. At the launch of the Ghana Health Service Workers Union of TUC Ghana Fund, the GHS Director General, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boakye, says the government prioritizes the welfare needs of health workers to help them to deliver the needed services to all.
Health Service Workers Union Week celebration was instituted in 2009 to highlight the role of paramedics and all other health professionals apart from doctors and nurses. Since then, it has been at the forefront in organizing and bargaining for the rights and welfare of its members. However, continuous fragmentation and issues of collective labor bargaining certificate challenges affect the union. The General Secretary of the Ghana Health Service Workers Union of TUC Ghana, Mr. Franklin Owusu-Ansah, is worried about the fragmented front of the Ghana Health Services Workers Unions of TUC.
We therefore call on government and the operatives of government to ensure that the issuance of collective bargaining certificates are done in the right way, protect workers, and also to the existence of trade unions.
The Acting Secretary General of the TUC, Mr. Joshua Ansah, said the 8-month contribution remittance delay of the health workers to the Social Security and the National Insurance Trust, SNIT, affects the scheme.
This shows that at the end, we are not going to get the expected revenue and incomes that we expect. Because SNIT depend on the contributions remitted to the scheme. Otherwise, it cannot run.
The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boakye, assured that with COVID-19 exposing the country to the challenges of the health sector, the government will continue to prioritize the welfare needs of all health workers.
The health worker in the chief's compound, the health center, doesn't have the full spectrum of care. So Ghana Health Service, we are in discussion to establish what we call the staff clinic, where it will be for all staffs. This is a dedicated staff clinic for health workers. You will go there, and all the things that will happen in terms of payment, how you get care, how you get referred, is dealt with at that. And we promise you that we are going to establish such a system that will take care of all of you.
All speakers at the podium dwelt on the need for effective unionism in the country and commended the Health Service Workers Union for the novelty in establishing a fund for its members. It gives workers access to concessionary loans, support them when incapacitated and on retirement. It will also have the features of the Tier 3 contributions.
That was help brought to you by Lufat. Tobinco's premium gift to Africa. International news is up next.